This is a bizarre video that has circulated online for a long time. Do mermaids really exist? What exactly is the mermaid mummy that has been carefully enshrined in a Japanese temple for over 200 years? Why have both the East and the West recorded such creatures from ancient times to the present? Their legends and mythological history can be traced back a long time. The earliest appearance was in Assyria, a civilization that existed for over 2,000 years. It is said that Semiramis, the queen of Assyria, was born after her mother fell in love with a shepherd. Her mother, a targetess, once accidentally killed the shepherd. In remorse, she submerged herself into a lake and thus became a mermaid. But she didn't look quite as attractive. Not only did she have a tail, but also legs. Mermaids also appear in Greek legend. In Homer's Odyssey, they are described as sirens. Sirens is a general term for them. Some say there were 3 sisters, some say 4. The description says they lived on a green island. They were skilled at luring passing ships with their beautiful songs, enchanting the sailors, causing them to crash and sink. This story seems to have become the blueprint for the mermaid image in many regions later on, always tied to enchanting songs, death, or romantic love. But stories related to mermaids rarely have happy endings, like in the fairy tale by Andersen, where the Little Mermaid ends sadly. Though both East and West have records of mermaids, their images are quite different. China mentioned them very early on as well. They always appeared as half human, half fish. There have long been reports of sightings in real life too. There are indeed many images, both true and false. But is there any real evidence? Japan claims there is, with mermaid mummies, more than 10 in total. Some have been preserved for over 200 years. Here is one of them. It might not look like the mermaid people imagine, but doesn't it resemble their native paintings? It's only 30 centimeters long. The upper body has a torso, arms, and 5 fingers similar to humans, even nails, and the mouth is quite special, with sharp teeth. This mummy has been kept in a temple in Okayama, Japan. People often come to worship and pray for health and longevity. But why pray for longevity from a mermaid? Because of a folk tale about a character named Yabikuni. It is said a fisherman named Takahashi lived in ancient Wakasa, Japan. One day, he caught a mermaid. After bringing it home, he thought he might as well taste it. Once cooked, everyone was afraid to try the unknown creature. But his daughter, not overthinking, ate it. After eating it, she gained a 1,000-year lifespan. Throughout her life, she maintained a youthful appearance. Living for so long, she saw through much. Especially as people around her followed the natural order of life and death. One after another, important people to her passed away, making her sigh at life's impermanence often. At age 120, she became a nun, letting go and traveled around. Once she even granted the Emperor of Japan 200 years of life with magic. She herself lived to be 800 years old. It is this legend's popularity in Japan that makes people pray for health and longevity before mermaids. Now, the mummy we see has been kept in Japan for over 200 years, always carefully treasured as a rare gem. But is it real or fake? No living entity has appeared worldwide, just mummies. Before technology was advanced, many blindly believed. Now with precise instruments, we can know what it truly is with testing. In a 2022 examination, a trick was indeed found. In common fish, the scales might vary slightly based on location, but structural difference is unlikely. If structural features differ entirely, it's improbable. After identification, some scales are semicircular while others are arrow-shaped. From that alone, it can be deduced it's artificially pieced together. Visually, one might feel the top part resembles that of a monkey, the lower part of a fish. To get a clearer look at the internal structure, the result unexpectedly showed it was purely made of paper, cotton, and fish skin glued together. The teeth were those of carnivorous fish, and plaster was found inside. To make it appear older, the makers used charcoal to color its surface. The forgers likely never anticipated it would be enshrined in a temple for over 200 years. He was extremely popular in America then, due to impressive promotion and exceptionally rare exhibits. Like the Siamese twins joined at the chest, the 60 cm tall thumb general, and the lion-faced man born with hypertrichosis, and the bearded woman. One of the most famous and bizarre exhibits was the Fiji mermaid. Here is an image of that exhibit, which was actually displayed in 1842, but it was later destroyed in a fire. Barnum claimed the mermaid was caught near Fiji waters, and it indeed matched early assumptions about the Japanese mermaids. Made from a monkey and the tail of a big fish connected together. Barnum was very passionate about his career. He dedicated his life to finding various oddities. It's said his last words before dying were, "What were today's takings at the square?" In 1865, he announced a real mermaid show and started a massive promotion campaign again, flooding the public with flyers directing attention to a new exhibition. The flyers stated the exhibition date as July 15, 1865. But just 2 days before the opening, on July 13, Barnum's museum caught fire, burning many of his collections, including the mermaid on the flyer. By 2010, it had been Barnum's 200th death anniversary. A researcher found a photo hidden for years in the National Archives by chance. This mermaid looked very similar to Barnum's flyer. And this time it was definitely not a monkey. In Israel, there's a coastal town called Yam. Many tourists visit every year. 10 years ago, there were frequent claims of seeing mermaids in the nearby sea. 2 men even captured footage of a suspected mermaid. In the video, the creature facing away from the camera seemed to have long black hair and a large tail. When it turned to face the camera, the upper part of its body was light-colored. Noticing people, it moved on the rock then quickly leaped into the sea. At first, everyone believed it was the most realistic mermaid footage ever, but dissecting the creature's form and movement. Normally, seeing an unknown creature, you'd keep the camera on it constantly, afraid of missing any of its actions. This video repeatedly focused on the fellow men at just the right times. Around 2000, on a fishing boat in Germany, fishermen noticed dramatic movements in their nets, thinking they caught a big fish. Everyone rushed to help, but strangely, a hand emerged, slowing down the footage. The shape of the arm was very similar to a human's, even having the joints to bend. Due to violent movements, the net fell back into the sea. After a struggle, the unknown creature disappeared, leaving behind blurry footage. In 2008, a man in Australia may have captured a mermaid while diving. Quite the stereotypical image, matching the mermaid image in everyone's mind. Back then, these 2 videos were examined by many experts, believed to be unedited and authentic. Netizens said the footage was real, but the mermaids might be actors. Some commented that the swim movements were unlike human leg structure. Even wearing a tail, humans' knees bend noticeably when swimming. The ocean is Earth's largest habitat, covering about 70% of Earth's surface. Unlike the single plane we live on, the ocean has depth. Thus, the possibilities there might be much greater than on land. For example, in 2021, we discovered 2,241 new species in the ocean. In 2022, 1,700 new species. Based on decades of study, globally, hundreds to thousands of new marine species are discovered annually. Many known marine creatures were once land mammals. Whales and dolphins, for instance. Their ancestors were land animals. But about 50 million years ago, they evolved into marine life to adapt to environmental changes and find more food. Manatees also evolved from 4-legged land mammals 60 million years ago. The concept of time offers endless possibilities. So, do you say mermaids exist? Actually, there's a 95% chance they do, because we always say we know only 5% of the ocean. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel.